Hello, my name is Ian Skewis and I'm an author and an editor. And at the moment I'm working on a short story which is going to be coming out in paperback. This is the proof copy of it, which is called The Lonely Cyclist. And I got permission from an artist who has a studio in Cyprus to use this painting of his as the book jacket. If anybody out there wants a copy, these are free. They're absolutely free. There's no postage either. So all you do is visit my website, which is www.ianskews.com, which I will just show you here. Okay, and all you do is subscribe to the newsletter, which is also free, and then send me your postal address, and I will then send you a copy of this book, which is due out. It'll be probably late July or sometime in August that this will be coming out. So what I'll do is I'll read you a little blurb from the back cover just to give you an idea of what it's about, and then I'll just read the first page or so just to give you a little taster of what's to come. Okay, so this is called The Lonely Cyclist. John is happy and content. There's never a day when the sun isn't shining and the sky is forever blue, and John is always smiling. But something isn't right. He is 200 years old, and yet he has the memory of a goldfish. His constant cycling seems to get him nowhere, and if he is so impervious to physical pain, then why is his heart hurting? Take a ride with John on a strange little journey where nothing is as it seems. And I'm just going to read you the beginning of the book now. It was a day much like any other. The sun was shining and the sky was blue and everything seemed perfect. John got on his bike and cycled down the lane, past the neighbours' houses with their neatly trimmed hedges, orderly flower beds and freshly painted front doors, the sounds of garden sprinklers and birdsong in the air. And yet, even the refreshingly cool breeze that billowed around his slight frame, ruffling his well-kept hair and catching at his shirt sleeves, seemed today like an ill wind that made him wonder if he was missing something. The neighbours never spoke to him. It was a strange affair. All those years living amongst them and never a word exchanged. John did not even know his next-door neighbour's name. In fact, he did not really know anyone, for nobody talked here. There was no laughter or tears, only the occasional look between them. Yet society remained in place, as if held together by telepathy. And up until now, the fact that they completely ignored him had seemed normal. But something other than birdsong was in the air today, and it was upsetting John's order of things. The sky seemed bluer than before, the grass greener. It was all too perfect, as if nature was hiding something sinister behind its beautiful facade. As he went on his way past the empty primary school, his thoughts darkened, fueling him with a desire to run, or something equally outrageous, for no one took flight here. There was no reason to, for time was an especially close friend. An ordinary day seemed to stretch inexorably into the future, and the months seemed to last forever. So much so that clocks and calendars, indeed anything that was once used to measure time, had now become a dim and distant memory. When he looked in the mirror, he saw the face of someone much younger than his 200 years should dictate. His reflection was an unread book, tightly bound, no creases. There was a naivety in his bright blue eyes that was framed by attention in the now defunct tear ducts, the telltale suppression of a feeling that would not go away. For he sensed that he had woken up from a dream and that everyone around him was still somehow sleepwalking. What made it all the worse was that he had a strange habit of curving the corners of his mouth upwards. No one else did it, only him, and so it made him feel more isolated than ever. He knew what it was called too, a smile, but he did not know where either the facial tic or the word had come from. His confusion was such that he was hoping to catch the eye of someone on the pavement, but, as usual, they were all in their own private little worlds, blind to his presence, and dressed in the only bland colours that were deemed acceptable now: charcoal, grey, white, and, of course, beige. There was one other colour, but very few people wore mauve. It was considered daring, ambitious. Some even deemed it dangerous. Parallels had been drawn between the wearing of mauve and criminal behaviour. But for now, it was just about acceptable, and so John wore his mauve waistcoat like the bold statement it was, though even he had the good sense to ensure it was partially hidden by his suit jacket, just in case.